don't have a song. That's it. That's the intro.
It'll do.
Enough. It's a great intro. 10 out of 10.
Intro of the Year award.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome everybody to the 24th episode of the wonderful DawnCast. Back here with our awesome co-host, the Glaster, Glaz himself, and our guest, Hawkblood69. Sorry, my PlayStation does a stupid thing when I go on Fortnite, so if that little screen comes up every so often, don't worry about it.
We're back.
But we're back, better than ever. Number one. We're going to be doing some predictions for... Oh my god, my thing wasn't lowered. We're going to be doing some predictions for the Game Awards coming up this year here in 2023, in case you're watching this in 2030. Because for some reason you're watching old DawnCasts and 7 years. Anyway, yeah, we're here, Glaz and I. We have Hawkblood from the Survival Games episode joining us back, so he's going to give us his impressions. And I guess we can just start off. Sean, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello again.
So he's back. All right, let's. We can start off, Glaz, wherever you want to start with the categories.
To start things off, most anticipated game of the year, which is recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. And the options are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth from the Yakuza series, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Who would like to go first?
Okay, so I'll just start this off. Out of those, for me, I'm gonna go because I dabbled a little in the series. I've been trying to actually play more of it, and I'm gonna say Like a Dragon. I really do like the Yakuza series, like its presentation, the story, the gameplay. It's just fun. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say Like a Dragon's the most anticipated game in my opinion.
What about you, Hawk?
I attempted the Yakuza series, but I could never get it to actually turn on. So I'd have to stick with either the Final Fantasy one or Tekken or Star Wars, which one was.
And you're going to tip your vote the most?
Is there one you like?
Star Wars was fun to play. Only did that.
So you're looking at Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, if you're a fan of Star Wars, yeah, that would be pretty highly anticipated.
Yeah, because if it's a continuation of the recent two that were brought out,
I think it's its own thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's made by Ubisoft.
It's an Ubisoft game, but I mean, there's nothing, nothing saying you can't look forward to it if you did like the Jedi games, because obviously, again, it's going to be more Star Wars for Star Wars fans, so there's nothing wrong with picking that one. Glaz, what's your pick there?
Personally, I think I'm going to go with Star Wars Outlaws. Massive Star Wars fan.
Kind of shocked with your fighting game kick. I was really thinking you were going to go Tekken 8, because I was really close to picking Tekken 8. I just have not played a Tekken game in so long I couldn't justifiably pick it. Where I have started to try to dabble in Yakuza, so that's why I was like, okay, fair. I could, out of all those, that's the only one I've recently hit. But yeah, no, it's the one.
Which Final Fantasy game was it?
It's a 7.
Rebirth.
I'm not sure exactly what that is, but
it's part 2 of the 7 remake.
Okay. Yeah, I like Final Fantasy, but I haven't played the remake yet, so I can't really anticipate a sequel to something I haven't touched yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so my only little thing with that is I haven't even played this first part of it, so I can't really say much with that.
Yeah, similar reason to me. All
right. Well, we can move categories now. I think that category is pretty pretty self-explanatory. I think you don't really have to go super in-depth on that one.
This one isn't so much gaming, it's adaptation. So, recognise outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. And our options are Castlevania Nocturne, I think that's the right, Gran Turismo movie, The Last of Us show, Super Mario movie, and Twisted Metal.
Okay, so I was gonna just immediately say Twisted Metal based off my boy Samoa Joe being in that, and I've heard decent things about it. I think that's what I'll probably go with. The only one of those I've actually watched is the Super Mario movie, and as much as I did like it, I don't think, even though it's the only one I've seen, just from what I've read review-wise for The Last of Us and for, like, Twisted Metal, granted, Last of Us has been given higher praise than probably Twisted Metal. I would just say that they're probably better adaptions, but I'm going to just give it to Twisted Metal because, A, I grew up with that series, and B, Samoa Joe's in the games, or in the show, so I can't, like, not vote for that, you know?
Yeah. What do you think, Hawk?
I'm gonna have to say Twisted Metal, because from what I've heard from it, like, the Super Mario movie is like an iffy thing from what I've seen, from what I've been told.
Yeah.
That's just because I guess those people saw it, didn't really like it.
Yeah, makes sense. Mine is going to be the Mario movie, but I haven't seen the others, and I just thought it was a fun film to watch. I didn't really compare it to the others because I haven't really seen them, so I can't compare it to them. But I guess it's just a fun family film to watch.
I didn't have anything against it. There was just some things that I thought were a little weak towards the end of the movie. But as like an actual adaptation, it wasn't terrible, no. Not at all.
I think the reason Last of Us does not get my vote is just mainly because watching the show, I think it has nothing on the game. Because obviously you get more detail in the game because you got more hours to explore.
That, and we all know what season 2 is going to be about, so let's just turn it off now. I know you don't have that opinion, Glass, but the rest of us do, so let's just turn that off before it starts. Because all those people praising the show now, they're going to do exactly what the fans of the games did. Watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah, let's not ruin things.
Let's not ruin bad things for good people. Alright, you want to move categories?
Next up.
Let's do that.
Best multiplayer game. Self-explanatory, I don't need to explain the category.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a good selection here. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game.
Well,
start, Dawn.
I'm going to go ahead, and I've only played one of those, and it was a great multiplayer experience, though, because you can do everything in the multiplayer that you can do in the single player, and that was Baldur's Gate 3, so that has my vote. I mean, I could talk about that game all day and how good it is, so, like, but it's one of the only games I've ever played where you go into the multiplayer with another player, because it's co-op, and you can literally do everything that you can do in the single player, and then the other person can do everything that you can also do. So it's not like they're just another party member. They're actually like there in the world with you, and it gives you a reason to actually want to play the multiplayer with somebody.
Makes sense.
I think you can do up to 4 actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
which
party
makes it
can be.
And what makes that interesting is since you can create classes, if you do have a thing of 4, you could probably make the game easier because you can have classes that the NPCs don't offer. But yeah, no, I think that's probably my pick for the multiplayer game of the year.
Makes sense. What about you, Hawk?
You said it was Baldur's Gate and which other ones?
Diablo 4, Party Animals.
Party Animals is a pretty decent one from what it's actually pretty good from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But I would have to stick with Baldur's Gate as well.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate gets my vote there too. Yeah. As much as obviously Street Fighter 6 fighting game, multiplayer fighting game is cool, but I think Baldur's Gate is just once in there.
Diablo's it's a fun game for what it is, but it's not as attention grabbing really.
Yeah. I just think Baldur's Gate's just one of those games. It's blowing everyone away, come out of nowhere.
Just knocked it out of the park in every aspect. Yeah.
Multiplayer, you can do everything you can do in story games, so you actually have an incentive to play online, which isn't a common thing in RPGs.
No, yeah, it's not.
So definitely Baldur's Gate gets my vote there. I'm moving on to a nice... I'd say we're probably going to move this past this one pretty quick. It's the sports/racing genre. And our options are EA Sports FC24 / FIFA, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and The Crew Motorfest.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that only one of those games catches my attention even, or that I've even considered playing, and I have it in my library. I just need to actually start it and download it. I'm gonna go ahead and say Hot Wheels. Because I am not the biggest racing fan, and those kind of racing games appeal to me way more than the very simulaty ones. I have heard good things about The Crew, but until I actually play it, I'm not gonna, because I want to see how it stacks up to Forza Forza, yeah, that one before.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm probably gonna. I haven't seen anything for the Hot Wheels, so for the time being, I'm gonna go with Forza. So that's like the only one I've actually played, kind of, or something for it I've played.
No, that's fine. You go based off what you know, and if you think it's Forza, I mean, Forza's a great choice because those games, they're one of the best racing games. Whether it's Horizons or Motorsport, both are good for like. Obviously, they're not exactly the same in the aspect of one's a little more arcadey, the other one's more simulation, but they're both really good games.
Personally, for me, I'm probably going to have to say F1 23. I'm quite the opposite of you. I love the simulation side of things, and Forza Motorsport is supposed to be a simulating racing game, whereas obviously Forza Horizon isn't. It's similar to the Crew Motorfest. But where Forza Motorsport tries to be a simulator, I didn't enjoy it.
The thing is, I don't hate the simulation games. It's that I'm complete garbage at them. It's like fighting games. I don't play the multiplayer because I suck. It's racing games. I suck. Certain games, sports, racing, and fighting games, I'm terrible at, so I don't play them very much. Like
the rage-inducing ones.
But then what's funny is the games I'm the best at are sports fighting games, like wrestling and MMA games. That's what's hilarious. Two genres I hate separately, great together though. Now I wonder if I did racing, wrestling. Oh, I'm gonna play WWE Crush Hour. Sorry. Let's get back on topic.
You get a platinum trophy on it.
Hell yeah! I don't think that platinums back then, but let's do it.
But yeah, I played Forza Motorsport. I mean, it's on the right track when it comes to simulator, but it just feels too similar to Horizon, and obviously Horizon's more of that like open world, just cruise around, drive around, race through the streets, like arcadey.
No, and I get that.
It just doesn't fit that.
And I think someone like you, who's like an actual racing game enthusiast, who's like, I think you would know best. So that's a good, you know. But no, I think it's funny you thought we weren't going to spend any time on that category, and actually we had a decent little discussion. Like,
it's good when we got a very different opinion on a style of game.
All right, yeah, let's see what's up next.
We've got the best sim/strategy game.
Alright, let's hear it.
Advance Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, City Skylines, City Skylines 2, sorry. Company Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. Starting with you, Dawn of the End.
Okay, so out of all those, the only one that I've actually heard any like real great stuff about, well, the two, it would probably come down to either Advanced Wars or Pikmin, mainly because I've been hearing that City Skylines is good, but it wasn't really finished when it was released. But I'm probably gonna go with Advanced Wars just because like those games, like they've been gone for so long, and finally to have them back is great, and like you really can't go wrong if you're into that kind of strategy, like those kind of strategy games. Advanced Wars, you can't go wrong with it.
And New York.
The only ones I've ever heard or seen account would be Pikmin and City Skylines, and I can't really give an answer for this one.
Well, I mean, if you were okay, we'll put it this way: if you had to play one of those two games, which one would you pick?
Probably the Pikmin.
So just say because this is what you're gonna vote. If you were if you were casting your vote right now, this is what you're voting on. So if you say Pikmin, that's fine because that just means that's what you would vote on, even if you don't know. You don't have to know every category to like cast a vote. Sometimes it's just casting a vote, you know.
Yeah, because I never even heard of Advance Wars.
It was on Game Boy Advance. That's why you're probably a little too young to.
Yeah, I'm not of the era.
Glass?
Personally, I'm choosing Company of Heroes 3. I'm quite a fan of real-time strategy games. I love Command and Conquer, and it also gives me, I don't know if you guys have heard of a game called The Outfit. I used to play a lot on Xbox 360.
I think I did hear about it. I just don't know enough about Company of Heroes, or I would have probably given it a like. But I know Advanced Wars is another RTS similar to like those kind, and I know more about it, and I you know all that. So, and I know from playing it back in the day, like.
Yeah.
I just know it better than I know like. But yeah. Interesting.
The next genre is Best Family Game.
Okay.
And options are Disney Illusion Island,
I don't even know
Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Pikmin.
Yeah, any reason?
I haven't played any of those, but if I were gonna sit down and play a game with my family, it'd probably be something cute like Pikmin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same go for you, Hawk, or have you got another?
I'd have to go Pikmin as well.
Any reason?
I've never even heard of any of the other ones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Super Mario Wonder is fairly recent, so I can understand why you haven't like you don't know too much about that. And the other ones, yeah, I don't know the Disney one at all. I didn't even know that was a game.
I didn't even know Disney made any more games.
I thought they just had that Dream Valley or whatever. Glaz, what's your pick there?
My pick is going to be Super Mario Bros. Wonder. My friend has it on his Switch. I've seen him play it. It's a very colourful game like most Marios. He tells me it's really, really good. I'd probably play it if I had a Switch.
Would you play
over
it with
the others.
Family, though?
Yeah, I'd play it with a family.
Well, that's all you need to know. All right. That's not
moving on.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I was gonna say that wasn't actually like that actually wasn't a bad pick though, or like, oh no, that was a weird topic because I don't think any of us really knew much about it. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Best fighting, and our options are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6.
I'm gonna go with Street Fighter 6.
Yep. Any reason?
It's the only one of those I've even paid any attention to other than Mortal Kombat 1, and it's just like I know Mortal Kombat 1 pretty much drops the bag after the story mode, where I've heard nothing but good things about Street Fighter 6. So,
what about you, Hawk?
I'm gonna have to go Street Fighter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason or just similar to Dawn?
Mainly because the only other one of those I heard of was the Mortal Kombat. But even then, I kind of don't play the Mortal Kombat games or find an interest in them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Personally, I'm gonna go Street Fighter 6. As much as I love Mortal Kombat, like you said, Dawn, like after the story, the game just loses its pace compared to the other Mortal Kombat's, especially. You have this new invasion game mode, but I get bored of that after like an hour, and I just don't want to touch it again.
It's nice that Zelina Vega's in Street Fighter 6.
That is true. I actually found that out about 20 minutes before this episode
Glaz
started.
just found that out, yeah.
Who is that anyway?
She's a WWE wrestler.
Okay.
Probably damn good one.
Really damn good wrestler, yeah.
Yeah, I've just started playing Street Fighter 6. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I mean, it's not saying the fighting itself in Mortal Kombat is really good, but it's pointless because there's no motivation to carry on fighting, and it's fighting game of the year, not just best fighting mechanics.
Best fighting gameplay, yeah. It's got to be overall.
Street Fighter gets mine. Full house on Street Fighter.
Alright. Well, that was a pretty easy topic. Street Fighter unanimously got it.
Absolutely. I believe we'll probably get a similar tale with the next genre as Best RPG.
Alright,
actually, there's probably going to be a conversation in this one. Our options are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going to say this now. My answer is very easily Baldur's Gate 3 because it's the most traditional and most just like straightforward RPG out of those, because Liza P and Final Fantasy are both action RPGs. Love those like games, the way they look and everything. I want to play both of them, but they are not like full-on RPGs. There's a lot of action to them.
Yep.
I do want to play Sea of Stars. I just don't think it's better than Baldur's Gate. It's a much more like retro style, and Starfield is a lie, so that can just get out.
Flop of the year.
Yeah, Starfield. I'm sorry, it dropped the ball with most of its stuff.
I completed it and never wanted to unplay a game so much in my life.
I never even got past the first like chunk of the story.
What's your pick for the? Because you did play Liza P, Sean. So I know.
Yeah,
you could...
Lies of P is a good game. It's just, oh my god, it falls into the trap most of the freaking what are they called again? The
Soulsborne.
Yeah, it falls into the Soulsborne trap of it immediately starts off being impossible, kind of. And then it becomes super grindy like Elden Ring. But like, I'd have to go Baldur's Gate or Final Fantasy 16.
What would you say gets your final vote?
Final Fantasy, because it's the way it looks most than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally,
I have nothing against the way Baldur's Gate does it. I like the over-the-shoulder camera a lot.
That sucks. Me and that guy got each other to one tap. Sorry.
yes, that's a valid point.
Okay, Glaz, what's your pick?
I really like Final Fantasy 16, and I kind of like Lies of P. I just am more into less grindy games.
Gotcha.
But Baldur's Gate 3, like you said, it's just that. It's almost like a tabletop Dungeons and Dragons. It's just, I think, it's so open, it's so creative, it's so
like I have multiple characters on there, and you can literally just play any role with each of them, and yeah, that's what got me into it. I love the game. I can't say anything.
It's just so much you can say about it, and especially when you're talking RPG specifically. It's the RPG of RPGs.
There's so much good with it that it puts too much out there for you to focus on one thing more than anything.
Yeah. Our next up is Best Action / Adventure.
Alright, let's go. Let's see.
We got Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, RE4, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, so I only really played one of those, and it was, I don't remember many games that I can like just sit there and like go back and play them over and over, and I'm just like, I don't know how many playthroughs I did in like the first couple weeks of it, but I'm gonna go with the Resident Evil 4. That game is just wonderful. I don't even know how I like beat it once, and then I went back and probably beat it like 3-4 more times right after, because it is such a fun game. It really is like an adventure. Even if you do know the story of Resident Evil 4, like they changed it up quite a bit, and it is, I don't know, like I like the way Tears of the Kingdom and those look, but like I don't know, there's just something about Resident Evil 4. It like it's one of those games you can sit down, like start it up and probably get through it in a sitting and like just feel satisfied after. I love the game. I don't know, to me it was a really good story, like adventure. Even though I kind of knew it going in, like I still, you know, I don't know, I had fun with it.
What about you?
I have to agree with Dawn on this. Resident Evil 4 is like the be-all, I guess you could say the be-all end-all of all of those. It's like, I've seen Spider-Man 2, I've seen the other, I forget what the first one was already, after like only a couple minutes. Yeah. The Alan Wake games, I don't think I could actually like physically put myself into doing repeat it much.
My thing with Alan Wake is it's more suspense, so I feel like it's a little more slow paced. But I haven't played the second one. But to me, those games feel a bit more slow paced. So I don't know if I would consider more of an action adventure, but I'd have to see more of the second one. And to me, with Spider-Man and Tears of the Kingdom, there's nothing wrong with those games. It's just, to me, I feel like they're a little bit more of the same as their first one, where Resident Evil 4, like, if you compare it to like RE2 or 3 Remake, it's not similar to those. Like, it is similar, but it's not the same. Like, you don't feel like you're playing just like more of the same with those. Damn, it is terrible.
Yeah, it's actually like way steps above what like it was originally.
Yeah, it feels a lot more like.
This is gonna sound weird, but it feels like it's a lot more complete.
Yeah,
stepped up.
Feels like a complete game, more stepped up. Glaz, what's your pick there?
I'd probably have to say, I'm stuck between Spider-Man and Jedi Survivor, mainly because I'm not really much of a horror game person. Like, if we're talking horror games, the furthest I would like put myself through is COD Zombies, and so that's very, very tame if we're talking about horror games.
That's the thing, though, is if you've ever actually played RE4, it's not really a horror game. Like, it has its like kind of intense, like creepy moments, but it doesn't, like the enemies on there are like people infected with a parasite. They're not even zombies. So for the most part, unless the parasite's showing, they're not even scary looking. They just look like mad people.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I've always had a struggle playing games when it comes to suspense. I used to really struggle playing Hitman, Blood Money, one of my favourite games of all time, but if that game used to get too intense, I'd just close the game.
So
when a game gets too intense for me, it's too hard to enjoy.
So what do you pick there then? Because that's got to be tough with those.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I think, mainly because of the different environments there is to adventure through. I mean, I love Star Wars as well. I do love Spider-Man too, but I think the different types of bosses you fight in Survivor puts it up there for me.
No, that's fair. That's a good call.
And next is Best Action.
Alright,
and that can include Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
Wait, what was the first one?
Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Okay, I'm gonna say, because out of all those, I mainly played Dead Island, and Dead Island is fun. It's a lot of action. It doesn't slow down. I don't know, it's pretty much what you want out of like a little open world zombie game type thing. I can't really speak for the other ones so much. So to me, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Dead Island too.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Dead Island 2, I've never even heard of any of the others.
What were they again? Just list them off one more time.
Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
Okay.
Oh no, I did have Remnant. Remnant was just no. I could not even finish the first one after a while.
If I had a chance to watch something about Ghost Runner 2, I'd probably say that one, because I know how I played the first one. I know how they are. I just know that like Dead Island 2 did a surprisingly good job just overall.
Yeah. I think I know I heard some things from Hi-Fi Rush, but it was not something that interested me to look into.
Yeah.
Raz, what's your pick?
I'm probably gonna choose Dead Island 2. The gore mechanics are fascinating to me. I find that really cool. I could find myself just attacking things for hours because of it. Although Hi-Fi Rush is not far behind.
And what I think is, it's like, I agree with you, the gore mechanic, it's that mixed with, I think, the sort of like Dying Light silly like kind of combat where like you can do some crazier like attacks and stuff, or you get some pretty crazy weapons. I think that's one of the things that does it too. It's a good mix, you're right. Like the gore system does it, and then just their combat helps it a lot.
I will say this though, with Dead Island 2, it's fun up until you get the guns. Then it's just annoying.
You don't have to use the gun.
Yeah.
All right. What's you said? Is that what's that? Is that?
That was my vote.
All right. So
next we've got Best VR/AR.
Okay. Let's go.
And I do like a bit of VR gaming. We've got Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, a game called Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and a game called Synapse.
I've heard of Synapse and those, but I play Resident Evil Village regular, so I can only imagine how cool that game would be in VR, so that's got my vote.
And E-Hawk?
The Horizon Call of the Mountain actually looked really good from what I saw of it. It's like, it looks... Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Keep
It looks so much better than the actual, like console games that for it. Like for Horizon 1 and 2. It's just, it looks far better than.
You feel like it's more polished in a way, or
yeah, even though it's like even though it's VR, it looks better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your pick.
The PSVR 2 has an eye tracking system, so where you look is much higher definition, high quality, and the rest will be blurred out, and it'll make it look naturally better. It's a really clever mechanic, really good for VR. But personally, mine goes to Gran Turismo 7, just because I love racing, being in the racing car, so you're not physically in it, but it gives it a whole new feel, especially when you've got a wheel to go on top of that as well.
No, yeah, and I'm sure for those people that play like with those professional setups, that's going to add a whole new dynamic. You know what I'm talking about? Those people that have those like full-on wheel systems where they play like racing games.
Got one myself.
That's pretty cool.
Next up, we've got best mobile game.
All right.
We got Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Some would say that's Game of the Year. Honkai Star Rail.
Oh boy.
Hunter Now.
Honkai Star Rail.
Terra Nil.
Another freaking Genshin stuff. I'm just gonna, because like, okay, so I would say Monster Hunter Now or whatever, but that game pisses me off for simply existing because it's a Monster Hunter game set in modern times, but it's a stupid Pokemon Go style game. So because this category, the only game I would vote for pisses me off, I'm voting for Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
And for you, Hawk?
Sorry, I'm just stuck in a laughing fit now. I'm gonna have to agree with Dawn with games pissing me off and go with Hello Kitty.
Just do it for the lols, yeah.
Would you know, boys? It's a unanimous decision for Hello Kitty.
Dude, see, that should be Game of the Year. What's going on? Why is that not in the category?
Monster Hunter Now, I'm sick to death of these Pokemon Go style games.
I know, it's such
Pokemon
a good
Go
premise.
was cool, but now you got Monopoly Go, Monster Hunter Go, you even got like Metaverse Go.
I suppose they didn't have like WWE Go where you fight wrestlers on the street and then like
turn the corner. It's The Rock!
Fuck out, it's Stone Cold!
Come on, it over!
You've been RKO'd out of nowhere. You're locked out of the game for 10 minutes unless you buy this microtransaction.
Hello Kitty for the win on that one.
Go Hello Kitty.
Next we've got best debut indie game.
Alright,
options are Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
Well, I don't know any of those games, so Pizza Tower wins. Simply because I love pizza.
Viewhawk?
Dredge is a pretty good looking game for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all it literally is a fishing game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, if that's your pick, I mean, go fishing games.
I don't know, personally, my dad loves a fishing game.
Yeah, it's got a good story to it.
Hey, fishing and a good story? Sounds like Red Dead 2 to me. Mumbai.
Personally, I'm going to go with Pizza Tower. I mean, I've got a little bit of an advantage over you, so I get to see the cover of the games here. And Pizza Tower has some pretty wacky cover art here, and I think for that, especially, it gets my vote.
I just know it's called Pizza Tower, and that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I love pizza.
I do love pizza too.
Games actually loading is better.
I think just pizza better, full stop. Next up we've got best independent game.
Alright, let's go.
Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
I'm going to say, out of all those, the only one I've really looked at and I want to play is Sea of Stars, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm going to go with Sea of Stars. Although Dredge would have been my pick, because I just found out it's a really good fishing game. It's just, I knew about Sea of Stars.
Don't forget the good story.
Yeah, the good story. Red Dead 2, basically.
You got Morgan Arthur, the main protagonist.
You're John Arthur and his partner Arthur McCarthy. Anyway, what's his last name? McCarthy. Don't worry about it, okay? Anyway, Sean, what's your pick there?
I'm gonna have to go Dredge on this one again.
Back-to-back Dredge. Oh my god.
Dave the Diver was an interesting thing. It's just, it's literally mostly a downward scrolling Mario game, kinda, in the ocean.
So like Downwell, kinda.
Fair enough. I think I'm gonna go Sea of Stars. It's rare that I'll ever see myself playing an indie game, but Sea of Stars, it actually is one I could see myself playing one day.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Next up, we got Best Community Support. Recognising a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game/patches. So basically, everything that Destiny 2 is not. But, however, our options: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 15, oh sorry my bad, 14, and No Man's Sky. And what would you know? Destiny bloody 2 is on there.
I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, I thought about this since, like, I kind of went over it before, like, the topics. I'm gonna probably say Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with No Man's Sky because of the updates they've done, but I think Cyberpunk did a really good job of like not only fixing the game and adding a lot of like updates and patches, but this last update, like, they basically gave people a sequel and an update. So like, what more could you really ask for? The launch was rough, but they've been very transparent, like very communicative with their like community. So I'm gonna say Cyberpunk.
Cool.
I'll go Cyberpunk as well, because that's the only one I've really kind of kept up to date with.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd say I'd like to say Baldur's Gate 3, but in terms of updates and community support, I think the game was released so well, it wasn't really that significant to the actual game. Whereas Cyberpunk, like you said, really, really rough launch, and they have completely turned around the game. And actually, now the game is what they sold it.
Baldur's Gate does have like hot fixes and stuff, but like there's nothing wrong with that. But like comparatively, I don't consider that the same as like what Cyberpunk had to do and has done. Like, I will say they stay on top of stuff in Baldur's Gate. Like, they definitely don't let the game get messed up, but...
Yeah. So I think unanimous decision. That's good. Best ongoing game.
Missing is fishing.
True, if one says fishing, some would boost it up a few years to put in Game of the Year. Illegally, but anyway, best ongoing game. awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content. Our options are Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact.
Fuck that up. I'm gonna say Fortnite. Fortnite's just been going, like, it's just been staying on top of its updates. I can't complain. I played actively. I left the game and I came back, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fortnite here as well, because it's actually pulled me back in several times. And don't even get me started on Genshin.
I'm stuck between Cyberpunk and Fortnite only because, see, Cyberpunk this year especially, that just the comeback they've made with the 2.0 update, but I guess Fortnite have done it since January the 1st to now, as we speak, so I think that just edges it above. So Fortnite get my vote on that one. It's hard not to give them the credit.
Yeah, and the thing is, they don't seem to be slowing down. Like, we already know before the year's up, they're already do another update, so.
True. Next up, we've got Games for Impact, which is for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. We've got 6 options here. We've got A Space for the Unbound, Chant of Sanaa, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, and Venba.
I don't know any of those games, but that one, its name rhymes, and it's about a volcano. So
Goodbye,
the volcano
High.
Yeah, Goodbye Volcano High. That one gets my vote.
That's fair enough. Who says you can't vote with it because of volcanoes?
I like volcanoes. I mean, I don't want to be around them, but they're like cool in like video games and stuff. So, Sean, what's your pick?
Volcanoes.
Is that volcanoes with a full stop at the end?
Yes.
I'd probably just have to say the same, to be honest. I don't see myself ever playing any of these games. I never played them for the meaning or message
I don't
of the
game. Yeah, I don't even want to take the time to look them up, but that one had volcano in it, so it wins.
Volcanoes, hell yeah.
Remember, if you're listening to this and you're going to do the vote for the game boards, just remember to vote for Volcano High, because volcanoes.
Game of the year, volcanoes.
Better than Act 2.
Part 2, Aftershock. Next up, we've got innovation in accessibility, which is recognising software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology and content to help games be played by a wider audience. And our options are Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Street Fighter 6, and Mortal Kombat 1.
It just seems like such a random category, and all those games seem very random for that category. Like, I don't know, because I don't know how any of those games do that. Wouldn't it be the like people who make the controllers and stuff? Like,
well, I know one. I mean, I'll give my vote early. Forza Horizon. They have a lot of assists and a lot of like tinkering within the controls that can make it a very simple game to play. So say you're less able with your hands or whatever.
Okay,
you can still enjoy it.
I'll probably just go with that one because it's the only one I know of. Because I don't know like how any of the other ones work, so I'm just gonna say Forza. I feel like that category is just too like. It's a nice category to have, but it's very technical, and I think you're like. I think you're trying to like acknowledge. Like you're acknowledging the right idea, but like you're trying to execute it in kind of the wrong way with that one because it's like somebody has to be very knowledgeable of like how they like with you where you knew what like Forza does and doesn't do. Like I want to know that, and I don't know anything about the other games, so it's like maybe try to like I don't know. You get it. I'm just gonna say Forza and walk away from that one because I don't like that one anyway.
Same for you, Sean?
Oh, yeah.
See, the thing is, with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat being on there, I think no matter how you play the game, with no matter what accessibility you put on it, if you play online, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. Like,
Yeah.
There's no way around that. Next up, we have Best Performance, awarded to an individual for voice acting, motion capture, and our options are Ben Starr, who is Clive in Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan in Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba as the new character in Phantom Liberty of Cyberpunk. I'm not sure who plays who in this. Melanie Livard in Alan Wake 2, and Yuri Lowenthal in Marvel Spider-Man 2. And we've also got Neil Noob in Baldur's Gate 3.
So I like don't know who all plays what, but I do know that the guy from Final Fantasy not only like I've heard just nothing but like I've heard him do the voice in that game, but like I've heard about it in the more dramatic scenes because I've been trying to avoid stuff about that game so I could play it fresh, so I've only watched a little bit. But from what I've heard, the way he does everything, like delivery-wise, it sounds like it's like actually happening and stuff, to the point where like I'm just gonna vote him because I heard he does a phenomenal job. Not to take it away from the dude from Star Wars though, because he does great, like in his character and all that, and the movements are on point. It's just I know the dude from Final Fantasy put in like extra work with that one.
Yeah.
Sean, what do you got?
What about you, Hawk?
I'm gonna have to default to Final Fantasy, dude. Because, like, they're all good picks. It's just one of them is slightly out there with the way they have them show up.
Yeah. Well, and my thing with Idris Elba is, like, you're never going to get a bad performance out of Idris Elba, but, like, at the end of the day, he's also, like, still kind of just Idris Elba as a character in a game.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As awesome as the character he plays is, it's almost like the character's playing Idris Elba.
Yeah, because that's how it's. Yeah, I get what you mean. What do you got for
Cameron Monaghan being he does a really awesome job in Jedi Survivor, but Ben Starr as Clive in Final Fantasy, the emotion in the screaming, like the dramatic scenes especially.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been hearing a lot about. Like a lot of the videos I've watched, like the non-spoilery ones, people have been praising his voice acting a lot. In those scenes, they said it's like insane the levels he goes to.
Yeah, like it's nothing against Cameron Monaghan. He plays a great job, but just maybe it comes down to the writing, the voice and emotion and passion he has to put into the lines as Clive. Just really brings it out. So that's what my vote is.
No, yeah, fair.
Next up, we have Best Audio Design, which is Best in-game audio and sound design. We got Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4.
Okay, so when you like, I'm gonna break it down. For me, it would come to like a decision between two games. I've from what little I've seen and heard of Alan Wake 2, the voices like and stuff in the game and like everything, like even the disembodied kind of voice stuff you hear, and the way they kind of use sounds to trick you and stuff, it's like very good. But like I mean I loved Resident Evil 4, and like the way you can just hear the villagers like talking in the distance and a lot of the stuff, and the way it's like very atmospheric. I'm gonna vote for Resident Evil 4. That's just like my pick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sean, what do you got?
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 4 as well, simply because the only other one of those games I've actually like heard or any of the sound like cues they did was Dead Space, and that game kind of just, yeah, I don't know how to explain it properly. It just didn't do it for me with its sound cues and everything.
That's fair.
I think Hi-Fi Rush gets my vote. Like, the whole point in the game is its audio system. Everything matches up perfectly, like the beat to all your attacks, and everything in the game is evolved around the sound.
Fair, no, that's a good idea. Like, I mean, you can't really argue that point.
Yeah.
A very similar genre next. It's best score and music. For outstanding music, inclusive score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack, we have Alan Wake 2's composer, Petri Alanko, Baldur's Gate 3 composer, Borislav Slavov, the Final Fantasy 16 composer, Masayoshi Soken, Hi-Fi Rush audio director, Suichi Kabori, and Tears of the Kingdom, composed by the Nintendo sound team.
Damn, what a great name for that composer. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like just go with Final Fantasy on this one, because I've heard the score for like boss fights and everything is just amazing. Like, I mean,
yeah, I do the same. I was kind of expecting God of War 3 to be on, or the recent God of War to be on there for some reason.
What was that, sorry?
I was kind of expecting the recent God of War to be on there for it.
That was last year.
Okay. That makes more sense then.
I believe it did win the award for this as well.
Okay. Yeah, because Bear McCreary stuff's actually pretty good.
I'd like to give it to Hi-Fi Rush, but like you said, the boss fight music, it gives you that sense of epicness and what's going down right now. And Baldur's Gate isn't too far behind as well, because the music, and especially location-based music, if you don't see what's going on the screen and you're only listening to the music, you sort of get a sense of where you are. Sort of paint a picture in your head with the music in the background. But I think Final Fantasy takes it for me.
no, yeah, exactly.
Next we've got Best Art Direction. For outstanding creative and or technical achievement in the artistic design and animation. We've got Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. And Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm gonna go with Lies of P. I like the way that game looked a lot. not take away from any of the other ones. It just, I like the aesthetic on that one. And to me, the Mario and Zelda game kind of just looks similar to the Mario game just looks like every Mario game since Wii U, and the Zelda game just looks like Breath of the Wild, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Sean?
I'm sorry, I was focused on something else what we were saying. Sorry.
Talking about art style.
Which games were they?
Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros, and Tears of the Kingdom.
I have to go Lies of P with that.
Yeah,
because the art style for it is very beautiful for the era it's supposed to be in. Especially with all that they have going on with it. It's a beautiful thing to look at, despite how complicated it is.
Personally, I'm going to go for Lies of P as well. It's similar to like The Last of Us, sort of art style. It's like you find the beauty in the darkness and like the miserable. It's just very subtle things that just change the whole desolateness to make it sort of beautiful.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That's why I like it. Sort of a brutal art style.
Yeah. Next up, we have the best narrative, outstanding storytelling. We got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, the Cyberpunk's Phantom Liberty DLC, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2.
For me, it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate 3. I really like the story on that game.
Yeah.
I couldn't really say much else, like... Damn, I got word.
What about you, Hawk?
I have to agree with Dawn.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Personally, I am actually going to go Marvel Spider-Man 2 the more I think about it. Without saying too much, the Venom's character in Marvel Spider-Man 2 is a really unique take on it. It took me by surprise, and it sort of blew me away. However, if I completed Final Fantasy 16 and Baldur's Gate, I'd probably choose between one of them. But I can only give a full opinion on Spider-Man as I've experienced it properly.
Yeah, I got you there.
To an extent. Next up, we've got Best Game Direction, which is awarded for its outstanding creative vision, innovation, and in-game direction and design. We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man, Mario, and Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't even understand what that award is about. Best game direction.
Yeah, I think
is it the story or like what? I
think it's the goal they try to achieve with the game. So I'll give my vote and I'll explain why. Hopefully it makes it a bit easier for you to give a vote off. So for me, it's Baldur's Gate. They did exactly what they wanted. It was to create that RPG that's like that sort of retro feeling, that old school RPG sort of Dungeons and Dragons type of game. I think they pulled that off perfectly. Like, literally, if you're gonna describe a perfect RPG, in my eyes, it's Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm just gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 because I'm not really like if what you're saying is the reason, then that would be my reason either way. But otherwise, that category to me is still kind of vague if you just like read what it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna go with the game I know best out of those. I'm just gonna say Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah.
Alright.
And the one we've all been waiting for. The game of the year. Recognising a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. You know, you could win the award for every category and still somehow not get Game of the Year award. Red Dead.
And then you find out they did that on purpose. Because they didn't want Red Dead to win every award, and it was like, that's stupid. Yeah.
So Game of the Year is winning every aspect, just is that much better. But it's not Game of the Year because it would be unfair. However, our options are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario, and Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm just going to say Baldur's Gate 3. Though Resident Evil 4 is a close second, I just think Baldur's Gate 3 was a much more fresh experience.
Yeah. I'll go with the it's a fresh experience.
I just think it's kind of an everything game.
Yeah.
And what would you know? It's a unanimous decision for Baldur's Gate 3. The DawnCast's official vote is Baldur's Gate 3. I just think Larian Studios, like, is it even a AAA? Is it a AA title? It's not your AAA. It's blown it out of the park. It's
just
great in every aspect. I don't think I could say there's one bad thing about the game. There's something I would change, but it's not because it's bad, it's just a preference, which is obviously the top-down camera, but that's what it's meant to be. It does every job perfectly.
Klaus?
Yeah?
You can play the game in third person.
Yeah, I know, but it always just drifts you out.
Oh, you mean in the combat?
Yeah.
Oh, because I was like, when you run around, you can just play in third person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the game a lot. I do feel like we were robbed that Hello Kitty Island Adventure was not a nomination for Game of the Year. Jeff Kaplan, you should definitely change that before the actual awards go live, so the proper king of games can be crowned. But yeah, no, it's definitely for me. Baldur's Gate, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It got robbed. Should have been on that.
Yeah, I'd say. It'd win every other thing it's in.
It's gonna win all the it should win all the awards, but it didn't.
Jeff from the Hello Kitty team.
Alright, well, that
Nothing
is
I
our...
can say about Baldur's Gate.
That is, I think, our predictions for the Game Awards. Thank you, guys. If you're joining us here on Twitch, remember to leave a follow, whether it's the live stream or the replay. And if you're joining us on YouTube, remember to like and share, leave a comment, and then subscribe, because, you know, that's a nice thing to do. I don't know if you guys want to say bye before we head out.
We should do a post Game of the Year thoughts.
Yeah, we will definitely put we will follow up on this topic soon, as soon as the Game Awards happens. I don't know when is that?
It's the 7th of December.
7th of December, so not that far from when we post this. Alright, well, thank you everyone for joining us. You guys want to say bye?
See you in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Sean. It was a pleasure having you again. Alright, everybody, we're heading out. See you later.